Hi, I'm JB with MAS Epoxies. We're here at ShipShape TV's archives going through some of the great video that they have and tips and techniques and how-tos so that you can see how to use our products.
There are a lot of boats out there that have rotted stringer systems in it, and this is a real viable alternative to putting wood back into the boat. First off, what are stringers for somebody that might not know? Why does a boat need some stringers?
Well, stringers really stiffen up the bottom of this boat, or any boat they're put in. It keeps several things from happening. One, you don't want the boat twisting when you're underway. And if you come off a big wave, you want the boat to be solid and not the bottom doesn't bend a whole lot and crack and create some real problems for you. So we really want the bottom of this boat pretty stiff.
Okay, so a stringer goes longitudinally up and down a boat. We start at the transom and we bring a stringer all the way forward to the bow. We also need ribs in a boat, and that supports it side to side. What are we going to use for ribs?
Well, we've got some 2x4 blanks that are 2-inch thick with dry glass on them, and they're foam filled. And we're going to make some patterns, and we're going to make those bulkheads, and we're going to interlock them with our stringers and then tie them into the hull side and the chine, and just locks everything together where the bottom can't move.
And this is going to be our grid system for a new deck that we're going to be putting onto the boat. Now, what do we have to do to get these stringers in, Tony?
Well, to be ideal, we need to split the difference between the center line and the edge of the chine.
Okay, let me get a tape measure, and I'll get a measurement. And we're looking at about 33 inches right there. I don't know, maybe about 16 and a half. If you could throw me a little hash mark right there.
You bet.
Okay. And I'll get the chalk line, and we'll go ahead and we'll do that.
Let's make one more up front here, John, and we'll have 2 lines of reference.
Okay, good.
Cool. John, what I like to do after we snap this chalk line is to come down here and make this a permanent line so that we can see it. Because you walk through this boat, you erase some of the chalk and you don't know where you're going. So we're going to put a permanent line on top of this. And then we're going to lay the whole thing out and then take it back and look at it and make sure we've got what we want in it.
I want to show you an additional line that we've already gone ahead and laid out. It's right here, going all the way forward. This is going to be the height of the bulkheads, and that's going to be our below deck grid system. Now, on top of that, we're going to make a deck 1 inch thick. So this is going to be the final deck height of the boat. Let me get that and I'll help you lay this out. Well, our grid system is completely laid out, and I want to show you what we're going to be designing down below deck on this Seabird. Now, I've got this diagram laid out. Up forward, we're going to have an anchor locker. We're going to have a bunch of storage in this area right here. Now, this is where our fuel tank is going to go, which is right here. Take a look at this. This is where the fuel tank is going to set down below deck. On this side and on this side, take a look at what we got. We've got 2 fish boxes. We're going to put a couple of insulated fish boxes down below. Back a little bit further, we're going to go with a live well, some additional storage, and this is going to be a very functional vessel. Now, let's take a look at the stringers here, Keith. Bring those in, please. And Tony, tell us a little bit about these.
Okay, because this has a deep V to it, we have what's called a deep V converter, or a dead rise converter. And what this allows us to do is to take the angle, and when you put this down, it makes it flat on the top rather than being tilted like that.
Okay.
So it makes it a whole lot easier for your bulkheads to go over top of it. And otherwise, you're trying to put a bulkhead over a curved surface, it's tough.
And let's show everybody that.
And they will sit just like that.
So when it's laying down on the hull bottom, it's going to be flat. And what's the advantage of that? We can build off of that, right?
We can build off of that. We have a flat surface now.
Okay, now when I was in the factory and I got that tour, we were taking a look at this felt-like material that's on the back of the stringer. What's it called again?
That's Trevera.
Okay, and this acts as a bedding compound.
As a bedding compound.
Talk to me about that.
Well, you need to wet it out real well with resin. If you've got any little burrs or something sticking out, this absorbs them into them, so you don't have a stringer that's running up and down.
If you're going to be putting wood stringers into your boat, you need some type of a bedding compound to get the wood slightly up over top of the fiberglass hull bottom. If you don't separate the two, you're going to have a hard spot going down the boat. When you hit a wave, you could actually crack that hull, right?
That's
you
correct.
Could have a failure.
You bet.
So that's really important. Yours is built right into the stringer. Right. Let's mix up some epoxy and we'll put these in, okay?
Okay. Goes on top of the line.
Pick up that right now.
When we tie it in, we'll take it out. Get those edges together.
Now, our stringers are still slightly tacky. You can kind of hear it on my shoes. The epoxy is still just slightly tacky, but it's taken a crew of 3 to put these stringers into the Seabird. We probably spent about 4 hours in total in putting these stringers in. But let me tell you, that's a lot quicker than putting in some replacement wood stringers. And Bert, recently you helped out a friend of yours on a boat, put some wood stringers into the craft. Talk to me about the downside of that.
Well, John, it took 3 guys 10 days to make the stringers and the bulkheads and put them in the boat, and it was hard work.
What do you think about these?
It's a no-brainer.